So what's the plan? And it's such a great question, right? One of the great challenges is when you see a phenomenal business that all of a sudden, over a few years, just starts to fade away. And it only happens because there's not a succession plan in play. And that succession plan might be merging, it might be acquiring, it might be selling out, it might be selling down to other people that are on the inside of the business. But you got to start working on this stuff greater than just today. You got to be starting to think 5, 10 years out from now, who are the people that are ultimately going to be involved in this business? And who am I in a position that I'm growing to be phenomenal talent that can take over the business into the future? And that ability to be able to do that is the thing that fundamentally really separates and differentiates you. For a lot of businesses, one of the great challenges is to really think that they want to get people involved, but maybe they don't have the capital. So what can you do to help them to build capital over time? Or what can you do to be in a position that you can actually sell them a portion of the company that allows them to be able to get involvement in what it really means to be a business owner? And everyone thinks they know what it takes until they get on the inside, and then they realize that they don't. Now, there's lots of different things that your accountants will recommend to you, and that could be really simple things like setting up a very specific unit trust that might actually have a certain number of property managements in it, where anyone can buy in and out of that because there's no challenges around that and the accounting is very clean and very clear. What is really important is that you actually make sure that you've got a really clear line of what people actually need to do in order to be able to move into that position that they get ownership in the business. Now, that might be a minimum number of years of service or capabilities inside of their property management or sales skills, their ability to recruit and retain, their ability to be able to grow the business, most importantly, their ability to be able to go and live out the values. And then making sure that you're very clear about what they actually need in terms of capital requirements to come and purchase the business and to be in a position that they can't lend against the business in order to be able to finance themselves into ownership. What you want them to be doing is to bring their own cash, to be bringing their own asset base that they can lend against in order to be able to go and buy that true business value. Everything that we do in the creation and the sale of a business is about making sure that we substantially build that business value. And we're doing that by growing our property management. We're doing that by getting more sales. We're doing that by de-risking the business of an individual salesperson and growing a broader sales team that actually allows that business to continue regardless if that particular person leaves the room. What is really important here is that a business that has no succession plan has no plan. Because at the end of the day, at any tick of the clock, we can make the decision that we want to get out of business. We need to make sure that we're in a position that we're not forced out of business, but we're actually in a position that we're very clear that it's a slow sell out and a slow buy in, so we can actually make sure that we have these long and enduring brands. Businesses that can last beyond an individual because they truly have all of the makeup of the truly great companies. Those that have a really clear vision, that know how to serve their customers, and a really clear set of service lines that ultimately allow to serve those customers in bigger and better ways. Get clear on what the succession looks like, start planning for it now, and start building your strategic advisory board for the future so they can take over the business without you having to be there. And that's the ultimate outcome. You should always be building a business to sell in case that day actually comes. And most importantly, even if it doesn't, you're going to be able to drive incredible profits and to be able to share the load with other co-directors who can be in a position that they can help you to grow the business time after time.